रीड था वो,
फ्री रीड ही भेजा है उसने.
He stuck to his brief.
Mega Oucha doesn't give options. ये नहीं आएगा तो नहीं मिलेगा
मेरे
सेशन.
नाम का बिल फाड़ जा रहा है.
और आपको आपके नाम पे क्या बिल फाड़ रहा है वो?
कोई और मिला नहीं, सुबह से मेरे पे चढ़ रहा है.
Season's greetings to you, Mega, from him.
वैभव 5 मिनट और वेट करते हैं. आई थिंक वील हैव मोर पीपल. 5 मिनट देते हैं.
ठीक है जी.
बाकी लोग भी कैमरा पे आ सकते हो ना, ऐसे हेलो आई करने के लिए. नहीं?
Hi everyone.
कैमरा अनिल.
मैं तो सोच रहा था माइक पता है कि नहीं.
माइक चालू है इधर. Mega, we'll have a different type of a session now. Okay. Since I have already shared the deck, instead of people on the forum asking questions, I will.
I knew you were going to do. मुझे वरना अभी तू ऐसे बोल रहा था ना, वरना मुझे लगा कि मेगा क्वेश्चन छोड़ सीधा बियर की बात करते हैं. मेरे को लगा तू है तो शायद ये होने वाला है, बट ठीक है तूने चेंज कर दिया.
बॉस नहीं है ना कॉल पे, तो चल सकता है.
बिल्कुल वो कॉल पे है. कॉल पे है, बट अभी कैमरा पे नहीं आया अनीता, इसलिए तेरे को ऐसा रियलाइज हो रहा है.
शिल्पा से रिकॉर्डिंग लेटर ना.
Hi guys, are we starting? To be waiting
Anita, just 2 more minutes we are waiting, and then we'll start.
Sorry, I'm not putting my camera on. There's work happening in my house all around with workers.
It's okay as long as you've not heard what we are talking about.
No, I didn't. I've just come onto this. I was just talking to the workers.
Because we were just talking
Thank
rubbish. Yeah.
If you want any architectural inputs, you can ask on this forum.
Vaibhav, what are you taking as multimedia planning?
Yes. Guys, बॉस कॉल पे है. हंसना बंद करो, सीरियस सेशन है.
खुद ही तू बोल रहा है आर्किटेक्चर का इनपुट ले लो, फिर बोल रहा है बहुत कॉल पे.
एक तो खुद ही बोल रहा है. You started it. It's not even us. You started it.
I think we are good, Vaibhav. We have a good amount of people, knowing that a lot of people are on here. So I think we can start with. Thank you so much, Vaibhav, for not sticking to the brief of and having a presentation in place and sending a pre-read also, which is nice. I think people can just read through stuff and also have their questions in place. This is a very interesting topic, and I don't know it's going to be 1 hour is going to be enough or not, but yeah, pretty excited to understand this space a little more. And because I think both from an offline and from an online perspective, this becomes an important discussion point, and how are we going to take this forward. So all yours. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, Mega. So I think everyone, if you would have received the presentation, then that would have helped you to gain some understanding of what is happening in multimedia planning as a topic. And I have divided it into 3 sections because considering the audience which would come onto the call for ease of their understanding, it's divided into 3 sections so that further on from its application perspective, it will be slightly easier to read the concept and make its application. So with that, before I put on to the agenda slide, I will thank Megha Ahuja for giving an opportunity for this interrogation session. I mean to say integrated session. And so yeah. So in this 3 sections now, first I wanted to everyone to understand that incremental reach as a conversation has been around for us for quite a bit time now, and most of the people have been utilizing it, talking about this particular topic since I think 2016 very actively. And in that, the subsections which I have highlighted is that the reasons for its prominence into our media plans, predominantly the fragmentation which has been increasing, and with new media coming in, more focused targeting, and for the focused target audience, there have been a lot of efficiencies which have been driven through the new media which has come into the picture. And ultimately, whatever we do, business standpoint or ROI of that particular media becomes, very important to be showcased to the client. So quickly jumping through, this would have been easily understood by everyone that incremental reach is something which is add-on unique reach, which has been added on with the addition of new platform or new media which comes into existence. And the fragmentation of media is something which is happening more and more nowadays with the newer platforms which has been coming up. The newest one being connected TV audience, which has been increasing into the number. And in fact, now for doing the IPL deal also, we don't have to go through a single vendor. We have to talk to multiple vendors, to get the overall reach of IPL as a property. Something which I figured out from my study and some bit of understanding of Kantar and Google Analytics data is that more than one single media platform is always adding on to delivering better ROI. And so one of the research papers of Ehrenberg Mass Institute was released. The chart on the left hand side showcases that they have done multiple studies with which they were able to, uh, inform us that 35% increase in ROI happens with more than 4 or 5 media which is there. And if you take a combined approach as against only offline, in that will help you also to drive better efficiency and ROI. So while these numbers are slightly dated, but important point to be noted is that the combination is been helping us to derive better efficiencies as well as ROI. Now, one of the studies of Advertising Research Foundation is also I have supported over here, because majority of multimedia happens around multi-screen planning, wherein we have been utilizing TV plus screens, and TV plus digital have been delivering 35% increase in terms of ROI. And this was being studied across the demographics, across the platform, wherein to a incremental reach driven by 5 to 7% across the demographics which is there, this has been able to drive higher ROI for the same existing brands who have been utilizing only TV in their past. With that, we can move on to the second section, wherein it's not only for driving incremental reach in a cost efficient manner. It also helps me to drive different levels of objective on the funnel, awareness being the most basic of it. And from another report from work itself, we were able to study that media mix, which can be catering to different types of objectives, is also being highlighted on the right hand side of the slide, you could see that for the different level of objectives, awareness, consideration, and conversion, we can utilize different type of a media mix combination. So tomorrow, other than awareness, if we were to drive consideration for a particular brand in its media journey, then we will have to go beyond your TV, Facebook, YouTube, and utilize options like online display, OH, print, radio. So this can be easily done with the help of CCS Planner as well. CCS Planner has the facility for us to understand that for different objectives of brand, what is the kind of media mix which can be utilized. And this is something which has been proven. Hence, it has been released as part of another report from work itself. I think the case studies is for your self understanding. I will rush through on that particular front, wherein this has been something which has been done recently, like in 2021, wherein a combination of media and platforms have been utilized to drive the multimedia objectives. We have one of our in-house case study of Standard Chartered, which was being utilized, and the results were increase in search queries, which is driving your conversions. And it was also studied on another funnel levels as well, wherein BLS study helped us to understand whether the lift is greater or not, and 5% lift in ad recall. This, I think, everyone can go through at their own sweet time. There are some more which possibly I will share across as part of the further session, or continuation of the same thing. Then finally getting into the slightly you know in-depth aspect of multimedia, which is the calculation. So most popular one is Sainsbury formula, which has been utilized over the years for calculating multimedia combined reach. So there have been some refinement which has been done by some of the other scientists, which has been coming up. Methringham method, which has also come up, which has been able to, increase the accuracy of combined reach delivery. So most important is that more than formula, it is the understanding of how we should be utilizing it. So when you arrive at a proper media mix, one thing which is very critical is that we have to collate media reach deliveries, reach curves across all the platform, and then apply this. Before applying this formula, we need to ensure that there is normalization of the media deliverables. Easier way to normalize the media deliverables across platform on one single universe is to look at penetration of each of the media or platform with help of TGI, or for that matter, IRS. So we have something in-house which can help you, utilize this very effectively, is CCS. So CCS has been a very good, effective tool for us to do multimedia planning. But please do remember that when you are incorporating numbers into the CCS system at that point of time, they need to be recalibrated. They need to be normalized. So one of while I have observed some of people who have utilized CCS in the system itself in Bombay market, recalibration is something which I have seen that most of you are not doing it, because of which the output numbers uh, may not be correct. They would be distorted. There have been a couple of examples which I have, but we'll take it up case to case basis whenever someone is working onto it. And then from the reach curve perspective, I thought that this could be a useful information for all of you, that when you're doing multimedia planning, please ensure that sufficiency planning for each of the platform is being done. For those who are not aware with sufficiency planning as an approach, it is where on a reach curve, when there is a stagnation point of the reach comes in, and each incremental reach comes at a incremental cost which is higher, and that is where we stop to give input in that particular media. And this is something which can be done across all the media, TV, Facebook, digital. On video platform, this can be done easily. And I think in terms of media output, I think I took the examples from CCS itself because that is something which we have been utilizing uh, for all our cases, whether it is pitches or for that matter internally. So like I had said, selection of media mix is also possible from that one. Determining overall campaign reach is also doable easily. We have to ensure, and also the outcome in terms of brand funnel targets, all this comes out. But while utilizing it, please ensure that you are making use of recalibration. Understand that the way of doing recalibration before utilizing it. In-house examples are also there, which I think could be, read through whenever you have free time. And now I think we can open it for questions. Sorry, I went little fast because I thought that more time we utilize for having conversations and discussions around it, that would be better. And you can refer to this presentation even during your leisure time as well. So has anybody put any questions?
Trevor, is there
Yeah.
any, like, with your experience, is there any best mix? Like, see, sometimes what happens is we may not have that we can use all the medium put together. While we know every medium will add up to an incremental reach, and it's the ideal situation, right? If we have, but let's say I remember earlier and all, I think when we started getting tools across, I think I remember in Stockholm and all, when this multimedia, so the first thing we used to say is TV ke upar YouTube ad kar do, you will get that, whatever that 10% or 8, whatever, like, अगर तुम 80 पे हो तो if you want to reach that extra, just put the YouTube star and then you kind of get that incremental reach. And that used to be the thing what used to be the selling, I mean, not selling point, rather that used to be the thing what we used to talk about a lot. Now I know that was years back and then things have changed now, and now that a lot of better things have done, and so is the tools have also come in. So I just wanted to understand if there is in your experience, or let's say when you have something limited, I mean, what is the best, like, mix, if I were so as to put uh, that works, like I know exactly, like the way we used to talk about TV plus YouTube daldo, you will get that, you know
So there are two ways to tackle this, Kala. So for those advertisers who get a triple N done, they have been given understanding of what is the best media mix. So I know in industry, biggest of the FMCGs utilize triple M, and with that their mix are already being set. But for those who do not get this thing, it is better that we follow the sufficiency approach and make certain combinations. So in my past avatar, what I used to do is that when there is two or three platforms which are being utilized, I used to make combinations. So 60% on TV, and let's say rest of the platforms are digital with the sufficiency 40% of that in each of the platform. Then changing the combination to 65, 35, 70, 30 that way. And when you plot the reach for each of the combinations, so there would be some 8 combinations which are being derived. And when you plot the reach curve, you would figure out that sometimes at 70-30 or 75-25 combination, that particular ratio of budget, you have been able to know that TV as well as digital platforms which are there, they have the right mix to drive the best possible reach curve. So that is the sufficiency approach. And hence towards the end where I was highlighting that for each of the platform, we should get sufficiency for 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, or for TV, we start with 50 lakhs, 1 crore that way. So plotting each of the reach curve, that helps. Okay, and let me also, I have put a couple of slides as part of appendix over here. So this is something called as multi-screen planning output. Can you see it on the screen, Kala?
yes, I can see.
So it's the process in-house as a group, Dentsu group is also moving towards multi-screen planning. And because what happens is that when you have to make combination. So more than 3 medium. So if there are 3 medium, there are 200 possible combinations which can be worked out at a different budget levels. And if it goes to, let's say 5 media, then it goes into thousands. So for this process to be cut down, in our system itself, this has been built, wherein reach curve of each of the platform has been built in. Okay. And then with help of our internal tool, we are developing for different budget levels, what is the best combination? So the right side of the chart, which is shift to single goal planning. Can you see that one?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So TV, video, and social GRP, if that has been utilized. So like I was mentioning, 60, 40, 65, 35, those combination. This is something because I'm doing manually, I have utilized those combinations in past. So it is easier for me to work it out. But in an ideal scenario, for someone can question at any given point of time, why not do a combination of, 73 and, 27 kind of a thing. So right hand side chart shows that at different level, multiple combinations are created, wherein TV is increased, reduced, video GRP is increased, reduced, social GRPs are increased. And for a 3+ frequency, effective frequency, we have been able to highlight what is the best combination which comes out.
So you cut off where the plateaus in each medium, and then you add on
Yes.
another medium. Let's say TV ka, the down ones are GRPs, right? And so let's say we cut it off at 600, and then you add on. That's how you cut off. You say, okay, this is where my TV stops,
Yeah.
and then I add in another medium to the mix to increase.
And I will also showcase it to you, the Excel sheet in which this has been done. I will just highlight the.
There would be a cost aspect as well in that
Yes.
graph web of something.
Yeah. So can you see the Excel sheet now?
Yes.
So the gray columns, GRP 1 plus 3 plus. This is something which we have to populate. Rest of this particular sheet is automated. Now, some of them effective frequency is 3+. We might want to change it to 5+, 2+, whatever it is. For that effective frequency, we need to incorporate GRPs 1+, 3+, etc. The rest of the things, effective index, cost, all of that is calculated. So here it is video, social FB, display, OH, etc. So what happens after this is that multiple input options can be created. Now here, instead of 400, I want to make it 450, and this I want to make it 150, and instead of this is 200. So for 800 GRP, what is the first option with this three? When I incorporate reach curves for display, OH, any other option which I have, I can keep on changing the combinations and it will give me multiple options, and the right hand side chart which I had showcased now, such options are being created and such multiple options will be created with help of this particular sheet. This is an automated sheet, which once we start utilizing it regularly, I'll get it circulated also for all the people on the call. So that this is how granular we are getting into multi-screen planning as of now.
So we don't look into the cost aspect at the beginning. First, we just populate it and see where we are getting that, where it is plateauing at a GRP level or or at the reach level. But the cost input doesn't come in while we are selecting, right?
It's the sufficiency planning itself, Kalam. So we can make this combinations. See here, there is one more sheet you can see on the screen for whatever budget. If I want budget, then I will select cost. Sorry. So from here, I will select cost. Okay. Video cost, social cost. So I can select budget, I can select GRP, I can select reach, whichever parameter I want, I can select that. And with that, I will create multiple such options. so that I don't have to depend upon, some 5 or 6 options, which I do it as per my experience. And the reason why this has been created, because it is not easy to do so many options with help of CCS Planner. So just to reiterate, Kala, 2 ways of getting the right answer. One is through triple M. Second is to utilizing, sufficiency based planning. But sufficiency based planning also involves a lot of manual experiences. To cut down the experiences, now we are making it much more automated. So nobody can question when there are so many options and with that kind of an accuracy.
Kala, if I may
Uh,
just add, your point about saying is cost going to be looked into at all? If you take a bark output of your frequency distribution, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus right up till
yeah.
10. And when you do a discrete working out, what you will realize, let's say at a 5 plus or a 6 plus, the incremental reach that you're getting may be a 1% or at best continuing to a 1 and landing to a 0, which is where your cutoff point happens, right? Like you said, 600
Yes.
GRP is bath. That means
Yeah.
that's when the inefficiency is setting in, which means for every incremental reach point, my cost that I'm putting it is far higher. That is why you're cutting off that point there. So hence your cost is also always considered when you're looking at the incremental audiences.
Ah, okay, okay. That's what I was wondering. Like, do we, do we look at it like as a cost aspect also? Because many a time we need to even we need to know also the budget what is there, right? Because
Yeah.
there would be a
That's why
set
that
budget given.
frequency distribution table, which is the 1 plus to 10 plus, and when you do the discrete working, how do you arrive at your cutoff point is through that. So you will say 1 plus pay became 80. From there, it moved to something to something to something. Finally, when you minus 3 versus 2 and 2 against 1, etc., and everything, and when the same number starts becoming constant, which means you're not getting any incremental audiences, that's when you realize that your cost is now going to become inefficient because every incremental reach point is going to cost you that much higher. Where previously you were getting deltas of 7, 8, 9, 10%. Now you started to stop getting that.
Yeah. So you
Got
can
it.
refer to this particular slide of sufficiency planning process. You will see that actually where the cutoff point, etc., has been marked.
This cutoff point is an example for probably for one plan which should have made, right?
Yes,
This one.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So for each of the, TG market, this might differ slightly, but the process of doing it remains the same.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Cool. We'll go to chat and figure out if there are questions. How to strike the balance between efficiency and effectiveness. So in terms of efficiency, if we have to have it, then we have to go by the sufficiency rationale of it. And in terms of effectiveness, if that data is available, that is when we'll be able to figure it out. For example, if we are making use of CCS, then with the particular combination which we have utilized, what is the outcome in terms of brand health data? That is one way. If we are already getting inputs on brand health data, that can be incorporated, and then we can have a look at it. In absence of that, for the combinations which have been made currently, we have to refer to the past data in terms of effectiveness, how they have been delivering on the business ROI. Not all of the people would be giving brand health data. It could be also on the parameters of sales data. So we can figure it out based on that. Efficiency is pretty clear, right?
Before we go next one, now supposing certain mediums they show a higher reach, but they're not cost effective. We should consider that medium then.
Yeah, so whatever medium we are considering, and the ineffectiveness can be answered from the reach curve itself. So if we do the sufficiency planning process and over there we realize that it is not giving incremental reach beyond a particular point, then we can.
Basically, it's stagnating at that point.
Yes, the stagnation is something which can be utilized. Which software is ideal to take the population number, IRS or TGI? Because TGI gives only urban data. I think That depends. If we are doing a U plus R planning, then as in urban plus rural planning, you can utilize IRS data. Otherwise, also it could be utilized. Urban data is also available from IRS and TGI for urban data for sure. Our CCS has 10 lakh plus population towns itself, which has been covered. So TGI data can be used effectively over there as well. IRS will be slightly more of an extrapolation, right? Akash, what's the typical application of Sainsbury formula? The logic behind it would be helpful if, okay, so Sainsbury he helps us to, in absence of availability of duplication data, Sainsbury helps us to calculate random duplication probability between the two media or three media, whichever number of media is being utilized for calculating combined reach. So that's the only purpose. And with that formula, as against the other effective methods which have been created nowadays, the difference is to the tune of couple of reach points. It does not differ more than that. There have been multiple simulations of multimedia combinations which has been done, and it has been realized that it's not far off more than couple of reach points, provided the Sainsbury formula is been properly applied. Hope that helps, Akash.
Yeah, Vaibhav. Just wanted to know how do you calculate the multimedia reach, and also how many mediums can we use to calculate?
We can take up as many media on that particular front. Basically, uh, that's a formula which can be applied to multiple media. Currently, it has been developed for 6 media as of now, because most of the campaigns, so it does not go beyond 6 media is what have been an observation. Hence, the Excel sheet which I had showcased was for 6 platforms. Predominantly, we'll have 2 or 3 media, TV plus some of the media on digital front or print, which has been utilized. The way for calculating it is you can do it in Excel itself. Just have to apply that particular formula. Uh, you want me to take you through the formula and explain it? That would be slightly difficult. With help of numbers, we'll have to actually do that particular calculation. So that is something which we can do one-on-one basis itself.
Yeah, sure, Vaibhav. Thanks.
See, for everyone, Sains and utilizing Sainsbury formula for calculating is not something which is of high relevance to us. It is the number which is the outcome, and how we utilize it for the conversation is something which is of more importance. Because whether it is our CCS planner or for that matter, any other tool which has been deployed by different organizations or statisticians, they are, expert on to doing this particular calculations with help of statistics and this particular formula. But that particular number is of high relevance for us. That was just additional. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Or is this heavy already?
How do you like I know we do that on digital also, but it doesn't really get followed. But how do we really look at sufficiency planning? And because I do see that a miss within our day-to-day planning, with the clients just wanting to do a lot of stuff, but not really understanding that that's not really sufficient planning that's getting into. So, is there a way across medium that we can close on, if these are the 3 things that you do, we will be able to do sufficient planning with this? Like, are there any ways that or principles to be followed?
I'll again go back to that slide as a reference, Megha.
Sir.
So basically, here you can see that on digital platforms, there is a reach number which has been kept as a base, right? 5 reach points, 10 reach points, 15 reach points. so on and so forth. And for that cost and the delta cost, which is incremental cost, is something which is calculated. So this is something which can be done with help of reach as a parameter. This also could be done with help of spends as a parameter. It can be calculated. So for every given reach point or spends interval, we calculate what is the reach which is being provided by that particular platform. And when the incremental delta starts increasing, then we take a call where we can cut it off. So there is a reach stack working sheet, which I can circulate. As in this sheet, I can circulate it to everyone, which can be utilized for us to do that calculation. And this can be done for any platform which is there with us.
Also, Vaibhav, one quick question here. So in the particular slide, like you are calculating the reach, similarly, you also calculate the frequency, right? So in digital, the frequency is always like the maximum frequency. When it comes to TV or print, it is like in a minimum frequency. If I say 5 frequency digital, it's up to 5. When in TV, it is 5 plus, like in a minimum 5 and go. So how do you normalize that? What do you use that to? Like, is there any tools or something like that you use it to normalize and draw this come to the reach and frequency?
Yeah, so I think CCS is the tool which helps us to do that normalization. And for each of the platform, when we like on CCS itself, if we have to recalibrate it for, let's say, 5 plus frequency or a 3 plus frequency, we can incorporate those numbers. For TV, we get it from Bark Yumi. For YouTube, we get it from Reach Planner, and Facebook also it is readily available. On OTT, I think for the selected frequency, we can get those particular reach number. Correct me if I am wrong on OTT front. And even for other options of display, whether it is display or for that matter, other digital options, we will be able to get exact frequency at which it is operating. So with that, if we incorporate it into CCS, we get that particular answer. And if we have the input data, I will go back to the inputs as well again. On the screen, if you see, so after video, social, we have display option. If you are able to compute at that particular frequency, what has been the reach curve like, then this will also give you outcome readily available. It's a sheet which is already been built with Sainsbury formula.
Good. Would it be possible for you to share this sheet with us afterwards?
Yep, yep. So the thing is, Anil, I'll have to. So this is something which has been tested for digital platforms and, or for that matter, screens itself. For OH, etc., all that stuff, we're still doing some testing onto this particular front. Post that it can be shared. But
Sure.
for any of the, if the current usage, there is some requirement, do reach out. We can do it for 3-4 platforms readily. For more of it, there is a little bit of complications, which even I am going through as of now to operate it.
Good. Thank you.
Anji Amita.
Hi, Vaibhav. I wanted to check something with you. We've been talking about these two methods of calculating, what is the best mix, Sainsbury and sufficiency. So in CCS, what is it that we are using? Because CCS gives us, your
Duplication.
no, not just a duplication. It tells us what is the kind of reach you will be able to manage with different weights on TV and on, other media. So that graph is very clear on in CCS as well, but I don't know what is the background working on it and whether that is good enough for us to consider as what we should be looking at.
Yeah, so the background calculation of CCS is also Sainsbury. The only difference is that in Sainsbury, usually that duplication factor which has been missing, that is something which is arrived at. Over here, as part of the calculation, the duplication factor is readily available. So when that formula gets applied for multiple media in CCS, we already have duplication factor inbuilt. So we get accurate answer with help of CCS. It's Sainsbury calculation in short.
Sainsbury.
Yeah. Okay, any more questions, comments, any further discussions onto the topic?
Hi, Vaibhav.
Uh,
Uh, it's more of a curiosity question. Wanted to know, is there a possibility where you can know multimedia reach, not just looking at video ads or video media planning, but also where you have digital display ads onto various websites? You also get a certain reach from there. And when you're clubbing it with your television planning, radio planning, etc., is there a way to get multimedia reach, including the display campaigns?
yeah, so we can get that with help of the same methodology, whether it is our in-house tool or for that matter the tool sheet which is being created. The only difference is that uh, see, each of the platform and the media, their ability to deliver differs because of, whatever something is in display, someone has a bigger screen, smaller screen, etc. So the impact or the attention span on each of it also differs accordingly. But luckily for us, CCS is one-stop shop for everything. From there, we get to know the attention score also for our media plan across the multimedia which is being utilized for the different combinations which could be incorporated. Engaged audience is also known. Net reach also is being computed. So all the required equalization of the media to say that they are being normalized by CCS itself for us while they give out those particular output. Otherwise, a display ad or like it will be like a comparing video ad versus print ad scenario, right? But that has been done easily for us. And if it is about number, the number calculation formula remains the same.
Thanks. Just to further develop that question, now that you know most of the agencies are 360 degrees, where they also have on-ground activities and BTL activities which take place. Is there also a way to calibrate that portion into your ATL activities?
OH, like the way OH can be computed, we come to know the footfall data of it. From that, we can convert it into impressions. Those impressions can be, yeah, leave it open. Those impressions can be converted. So what we can do is that we can understand or back calculate certain with certain filters and assumption. We'll be able to back calculate unique reach of OH also or a event also, and the max possible which can be computed. So in Excel, there is a possibility to create a logarithmic curve with help of 2 to 3 data points at different frequency level. And then if you incorporate what is the level of GRP or a reach which is required, you can make use of that equation itself to further build onto it. So in simple ways, in as a simple answer, yes, it is doable. While doing it, there has to be little bit of caution which needs to be applied as to how will you look at that particular uh, media or a platform. Like we will treat it like a OH. Yeah, and obviously the because of the assumptions, etc., we can always keep it directional as a number. Somebody cannot question the accuracy aspect of it, but for a directional output, this is doable. This is possible.
Thank you.
Cool. Any other question, guys?
So you
Any
created
other?
a ready reckoner for various combinations. Created something like that for different TGs, different markets, something like that, or as a
So Anupama, I haven't created a ready reckoner, but there is this Excel sheet which has open columns and rows for inputs. So for whichever brand, etc., you are working upon, you can as in we can just utilize it, give those inputs, and get the various combinations in place. Ready reckoner can be done, but it's not that a big exercise that we need to have ready reckoner. Also, what happens is that uh, it is dynamic. The amount which will be utilized for a campaign, or for that matter, the objectives at which we want to operate, that also will keep on differing. So
Change,
instead
true.
of a ready reckoner, it's better that we utilize it fresh
Do it, yeah.
every time we do this.
Great, great.
Vaibhav, could
Yeah.
you help with understanding how do we calculate GRPs from digital? Because in digital, we don't get GRPs as part of our report dashboard, and we don't use it as part of our planning also. But as part of the integrated planning, it is important to use GRPs for digital. So how do you get the GRP numbers for digital?
So we get unique reach numbers, right?
Yeah.
We'll get unique reach, and we have a frequency number as well. So we will be able to utilize reach into frequency formula to arrive at the GRP number. So for digital, we call it IGRPs or VGRPs, whatever. Everybody uses different nomenclature for that, but formula remains simple: percentage reach into frequency, something which can be
So is
used
it
to our.
percentage reach or is it unique reach?
So unique reach is the percentage numbers. We get it for both, right?
So
Percentage
no,
also
the
and
reason
absolute.
why I'm asking is because, like, for
Yeah.
example, if we're running a campaign at 60% reach of digital, our digital TG
Hmm.
into three frequency, so that would be
Yeah.
180 GRPs, technically. But should we be using the is it 60% of the reach, digital reach, or is it 60% of the total reach? For example, on Tata New, there's a total reach of 127 million or something in TG, but
Hmm.
digital will probably be able to reach only 110 million or something out of that. So
Hmm.
do we calculate 60% at the 110 level, or at the 127 level?
So when we are doing multimedia at that point of time, we'll have to normalize it, and at that point of time, we'll have to use uh, a factor with which we can downweight those numbers as well. So let's say if we take example of YouTube. So in YouTube also, the reach curve which is showcased over here, we'll get the similar reach curve from that, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, and over there, we have the option to incorporate 1 plus 3 plus and look at the reach numbers at 1 plus 3 plus levels, right? GRP is something which is missing over there, correct?
Correct.
So what we have to do is just utilize reach into frequency and we'll get the GRP number at that point of time. Nothing else. And if we don't have all the numbers, even if we get 3 data points as to at 30%, 40%, 50% unique reach, 1 plus, what is the number for 3 plus, or for that matter, 3 plus, 10, 20, and 30% reach, what is the number for 1 plus? This is something which will be available for us.
Yeah.
So then we'll be able to get the GRPs also from that particular front. Reach into frequency करके formula डाल के.
Okay.
And same goes for FB also, OTT also, as in all the other platforms.
Okay. Thank you.
Formula. Need to put formula in the chat.
ठीक है. Put the formula on the chat. हाँ, that will be helpful. There is something chat reach or entire into 100 is the percentage of market reach and there is a add frequency. Okay. Yeah, this can be utilized. What Anil has put up can be utilized to calculate it in Excel itself. Thanks, Anil. I think everyone clear with the multimedia topic. At least I assume that. And my only suggestion is that while utilizing CCS, we'll get all the required combinations, answers, etc. But do not forget that normalization is the most important aspect of it. So whether you do it in Excel or for that matter with help of tool, normalization of the numbers for uh, for a universe, whether it is of TV, TGI, or IRS, whichever it will be utilized, you need to ensure that the downweighting of that particular platform vis-a-vis or upweighting of that particular platform vis-a-vis the base platform is being done properly to arrive at those numbers. Otherwise, your reach frequency numbers will look really warped.
When you said using the brand track measures to decide on the effectiveness of the overall process, when do you exactly apply the whole process of calculating multimedia? We up In order to calculate efficiency, we have GRPs, we mark the optimal range.
Yeah.
When we have to stop using beyond a certain point, we can't use that level, right? So that is for efficiency. What about effectiveness?
See, effectiveness, if you have past data, then only you will be able to utilize it. Otherwise, we'll have to go back to our tool and see what's the kind of result it throws up, right? So if you have awareness to be increased by 10 percentage points or consideration to be increased by 5 percentage points, you will need to know historical data understanding, or for that matter, WPP had this tool, uh, what something brand Z. In brand Z, they used to have brand health data for different advertisers as well as categories. So you could make use of that particular understanding as to which advertiser in past have been able to achieve this kind of scores. So it can come from experience, it can come from some of the brand Z data. I don't know if that is available or not, or for that matter in CCS, where if you give the input, you will come to know that what is the result in terms of brand health scores.
But how do they both correlate? If my plan is efficient, it's 100% cost efficient, but it is not translating into effective scores, then
See, you can make multiple options on that particular front. Efficiency is one aspect of it. But if you make 5 different options with different combinations which has been utilized, you'll be able to observe the movement of numbers, right? The awareness scores for all the combinations, it will not increase by 10 points. For some of it, it might increase by 5.7 points, 8 points. The best combination will give you the highest increase possible in the given budget. So you'll have to have that as a constant.
The stacks will help, no, in terms of understanding where to
Yeah,
achieve and where to stop. Like
tax will help you in terms of determining the efficiency,
Efficiency.
the budget and the
Right.
GRP.
Right.
कितने पैसे में आपको कितना GRP मिलता है,
right,
or CPMs for that matter.
right.
Yeah.
Not brand scores are
Like you have to know a brand track from the
yeah, your business
client side.
objective
Yeah.
completely different.
Or an NPS score would also help.
What is NPS? Net planning.
Need promoting.
Net
Brand
planning.
track.
Acha. Okay. Okay.
Someone actually needs one for not that much.
Need promoting score. Considering the brands that are there.
I think, Megha, there are no more questions in the chat, and no more
Yeah,
questions.
Vaibhav. Yeah. I think we can wind up 5 minutes early. I think you've shared the deck already, Vaibhav. The Excel, if you can share it, would be very helpful.
Yeah, so I think for sufficiency, reach stack Excel is something which I'll get shared first. Let us all get onto that particular aspect, understand the downweighting or how we should go about normalizing. This is the second step. These are the two things which we should do it first. On the Excel MSP or multi-screen planning Excel, I think that we can utilize as the last step Otherwise, it will create a lot of confusions amongst users, since
Sure.
everybody is looking at it for the first time, right?
Yeah. Fair. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody, for joining in.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Vaibhav. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you, Vaibhav. Thank you.
Bye.